Hello everybody, this is Lee Phillips' Journey of Truth. It is Tuesday, July the 8th at 10 after 8 in the morning. The temperature is 77 degrees and I'm not sure when my first video cut off. I maxed out my storage space, so I had to switch phones, and so we're back now. I don't think we missed but just a minute. So we are here in downtown Loganville at the intersection of Covington Street and Main Street. This is where we had the sinkhole issue, but today what they are going to do is they are cutting the road so that they can install these black pipe that are to your left. They're going to put new drainage pipe in across the road that is going to connect into the water drainage system coming up the library site beside Covington Street. Main Street is blocked off today. There have been many people trying to move on Main Street and drive past the barricades, and so folks, it ain't gonna happen. You should never drive through a barricade. Never drive through a barricade. It is not safe. I'm spinning my head around and I'm watching these cars on the side streets, and I wished I had cameras set up all over town recording all the side streets and all to show the frustrated people. But folks, all I can say is get used to it. Because of the big trucks rolling up and down our main street, degradation of our infrastructure will continue to happen, and projects like this, ripping up the main street and replacing stuff, is going to become a common thing. Which I guess for me that's a good thing, because I get videos out of it. By the way, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, ring that bell so you know when I get a notification when I got a new video coming out. You never know when I got a new video coming out. Life as it happens. If it happens and I record it, I'll post it. Traffic accidents that involve injuries, I'll wait until the next day, and I will not show children or injured people in my videos. If you're up and about and you're not going to the hospital, I'll probably show you. But if you're injured and gonna be going in an ambulance, I'm not gonna show you. I will scrap my entire video before I edit or show someone that's injured or a child that's involved in an accident. the tire on the machine went over the edge of the road over there, and they've got to get it drugged back now. Or they're trying to get it over different. Well, I don't know. All right, folks, y'all keep watching. I'm gonna run go get me another cup of coffee, and I'll be right back. All right, everybody, I am back. I hope I hadn't missed too much action, but I'll see it on my replay. I got my fresh cup of coffee. I got my other phone downloading the other videos. And then I'm gonna have to download my memory onto my backup drive at home. I didn't realize I had done that much recording on my phone's memory. So that's all good. We'll get that straightened out and downloaded and have that unit ready to go next time. And we'll keep recording on this one. There are still people trying to drive through the barricades on the side streets. It is unbelievable. Woo, I'm gonna have to set that coffee down for a minute. Slide to the left a little bit right here. Y'all know that term, don't you? Slide to the left. To the left. Get us a different perspective. All right, well, I think I can say that they are done cutting whatever they're going to cut. And now the excavation, I believe, is going to begin. Good morning, Mr. G. So, they've been working on the library tonight, putting the new train up the side of the road. And so they've got it all the way up to right here, and the state is going to dig up the road and replace the old train that goes under the road. They're going to put those new pipe in going from this side over to that side, so that we got a new train. That old train had a washout in it, and it was washing dirt out. That's what caused that hole to be in before. So they're going to work on getting that fixed today. And a lot of folks in town trying to drive through the barricades on the side streets, and a lot of people getting mad. It flew off. Not that I know of. It might be a different project with a different crew. There's so much going on now, it's just, it's work here, work there, over at Line Street. They used to be right there over there every couple of weeks, digging that up, fixing stuff over there. They can see the barricades up, but they still drive all the way up to them, thinking that they can go around. Well, if they come in by the port tower, they can have to call the station. Or if they're coming from this side, they can come up on the bottom. Or they can come all the way up here and come in the back behind the building right here and go over to the front. Yeah. There's been a lot that's been turning around in the parking lot. There's been a lot that's been going through. I guess I'll be out here until they get done. Just doing some documents. Kids just walk away and then come back. You got to get the whole thing. They got to make sure if they dig up, if they don't dig up something that should be dug up, because there's no way to know one all under the street because it It ain't been dug up. That's never been dug up in that intersection right there. Yeah. This street was never designed, the bed of the street, the bed that they packed down was never designed for heavy trucks. That's why the whole street is trucks, it's crashing the whole street down all the way, because it was never designed to go that way. They need to rip the whole entire street up, rip it up, let the city come in here and rerun all the lines that are under the ground, and when the city gets those lines rerun, then they come back and pack everything back down and redo the surface. And when they do it, they need to raise the level of the street up so that we got wheelchair access into all the buildings, raise the sidewalks up. That way people that's in wheelchairs can come to town and actually go to some of the businesses. Yeah. Yeah. Used to be two steps, I believe. On that one and the other one there had 2 steps, I think, on each one of them. But you didn't just walk right in. Seems like it. That's been a long time ago. My memory's faded on whether they had steps. It was 1 step. My understanding is, from all my years of being in construction, any new construction has to adopt the premise that the business has to be wheelchair accessible. Any renovation of an old building, it has to accommodate for wheelchair accessibility. None of that has happened with any of these buildings that people have put new businesses in. They have not made a wheelchair accessible from Main Street. Now, that is the DOT's problem because the DOT owns the sidewalk. So, the DOT needs to redo our Main Street and they need to raise the level of Main Street up so that all of our storefronts have wheelchair access in it. Yep. Did they say they wasn't going to come? Oh. He's probably just leaving it now. That's an hour and 20 minutes back. Other side of code. No, 45 minutes. 45 minutes. It's time, and there ain't no holding it back. You know when it's coming. I usually wake up. But I have a bowel movement every morning. Might be a small bowel movement, but sometimes I'm like you. I wonder, wait a minute, I didn't eat that much. Where's all this waste coming from? It's like it just appears in the system or something and creates itself. Because sometimes I swear, even for 2 or 3 days, I won't eat that much, but yet I'll still have big bowels coming out. I'm like, I got 25% blockage in my arteries, calcified arteries. I'll probably end up down that route sometime in the future, but I don't know how I can reduce my cholesterol any or change it because it's always been the way that it is. Nothing I do, nothing I do in my diet is anything that would contribute to it. So I don't understand how it's happening in my body other than the fact that I have a very unique genetic disease. And that's probably why my body has this. He's probably going to say, because we don't want it to reoccur, stay on the medicine. And but maybe he'll say, I don't know why you on it. Take it off. Yeah. I have tried to come down off of some of my medicines, and I've got them down to as low as I can go, but I can't eliminate them. I have to be on them too. UPS, you can't come that way. So I don't know what it is that they're inspecting right there. It's access to something. But they are definitely, looks like, having some kind of serious conversation. Is that a manhole cover under the street that was paved over? Past paving companies have paved over manhole and utility accesses. Very interesting. That is a manhole cover. A manhole cover that was paved over by previous pavers and did not leave access. Well, I'd love to get a look at what they're looking at. What did they find? Let's move up a little bit closer. some adjustments here, folks. What is in the hole? That's the question. They gonna put a camera down in the hole. These guys are getting it ready over here. They're gonna put that camera down in the hole and they're gonna take a look in there.
Stefan, I got it. Oh, there you go.
Alright, there we go. That's a little bit better view. Alright, here comes the camera. Folks, you're getting a first-hand look on how to put a camera down in a sewer hole. Now, although I'd love to see what they see down in the hole, I'm just wondering if there's any dirt debris that might be showing them that there could be a washout inside the sewer line there. Because if they find a washout in there, they're going to have to figure out how to dig up more of the street where the washout is and fix it. So we're going to keep watching and see how this plays out. And this is the city of Loganville's camera unit. It's not the DOT's. This is the city of Loganville inspecting their lines while they have this manhole opened up. So if you have an opportunity to gain knowledge before you start ripping something up, that's a good thing. If you have the ability to take a look and see what you're dealing with, and because information is the key to success. You want to have information so that you can make a better judgment. These practices don't just start on a job site, they start at home. You have to use these same principles in your home life as you do on your job life. Life is never ending, it goes on. Just in different ways. Let me step over here and get my coffee. So it's 5 minutes after 9 and the temperature is 81 degrees. So has anyone noticed anything missing from my videos on this day? Well, I'm going to tell you what's missing. The on the hour chimes at the Methodist church are not, I've not heard them going off. They go off on the hour and on the half hour, but I've not heard them today. I wonder why they're not chiming. You know, us folks around town here, we get pretty used to some things. And we're kind of used to the chimes at the church, but I'm not hearing them today. Alright, so the camera has made it to the junction. They've got their photography, and now it looks like they're bringing the camera back to the hole opening and getting ready to pick it up and bring it out of there. So what they're going to do is add a spacer ring in there so that when the cap goes back on, it won't be so low. It will be up with the top of the roadway like it should be. Let's see if the one ring is going to do it. Now that's still going to be below the roadway level. Oh, they need two of those. Oh, there's the second one. How about that? It looks like 3 rings to raise it up. So I would venture to say that each ring would represent a step up for a time that the road was paved. So if they're putting 3 of them in, that means that manhole cover was paved over 3 different times. The layers of asphalt. Alright, we're going to do a little walk around, folks. Give y'all a different perspective of what Main Street looks like with all the equipment and all. So they do have a truck with a information sign pulling behind it. So looking down Main Street at Highway 78, we can see that it is completely blocked off. We'll go right up here just a little bit and then we're going to turn around. So in this video, I'd like to also point out right here, this whole stretch right here is sinking down. This is another problem area on this side of Main Street. This has been patched several times, but as you can see, the pieces aren't coming out of the holes. The hole is getting deeper and deeper, and you can see the cracks in the asphalt. Folks, this is happening because the bed of the road was not designed to handle heavy trucks on our Main Street. That is why that this road is beat up like this, because of the weight of the heavy trucks pushing the bedrock of the road base down, because it was never designed to handle these big trucks. So we're going to walk back down this way, and these folks here in the metal building, they're doing some exterior decorating, looking very nice. This is going to look really, really good, and they'll be opening up soon. Did the fire marshal give y'all an okay? Y'all got your okay from the fire marshal, so y'all y'all ready to go now? Ready to go now. All right. Let's get a look on the door here, and Ember and Ivy, plan your next event. Event space opening soon. We'll get a close up here, so I guess you can scan that and find out information. And so this unit that's right next to it here, I don't know if they got the okay to move forward with renovation or not, but they're going to be moving forward on that one. Tacos and Beer is kind of in a lull state right now. There's nothing been going on here since that they did the pass-through into the other building. So hopefully they'll get busy with that. And we have the seating overflow access in the front of this unit here that's on the corner of Pecan East right here, and we have Game on Main, which is located in the back half portion of this building. So they've unhooked this trailer right here, and I'm guessing they're going to turn this truck around so they can either load it up with debris. No, they're loading this one down here with debris. And so probably going to load him up too. I just shook my head at that driver and he knew what I was saying. Alright, we see the hole right here where this line has stopped, and you can see that terracotta pipe that runs through right there, and that more than likely is the source of all the problems in this particular area. The old terracotta pipe just can't hold up to the weight of the trucks, and I would imagine that it's probably collapsed under the road or something partially, and that's probably what caused the washout, which caused the sinkhole. So right now they're scooping out the asphalt debris, and as they go down they have to investigate to make sure they know what's underneath there. Layer upon layer upon layer. Machines are good, but machines can't always do everything. You have to have that hands-on experience to be able to get in there and look and investigate. So while they're working on that, let's walk around and check out some of the other equipment that they have. Going back down the other way in front of the Methodist church. Slide over here and get a drink of my coffee before I walk down through there. Alrighty. We're not going to get between these workers and the equipment because we don't want to be in nobody's way. It's always good to get a different perspective on things because it allows you to see things in a different way. We all know the saying, you know, 4 people on each corner of an intersection. An accident happened right in the middle of the intersection and you get a different report from each person. And the reason being is because each person sees things from a different perspective. So we're going to give some different perspective here. So they've got the side streets blocked right there. They've got Main Street blocked off down at the red light down there. Oh, I'm doing it again, folks. I'm saying there so many times. People are going to have drinking games on my videos. Do not overindulge. All right, so looking from this direction, we now have this perspective. So it looks like the plumbers are trying to get things wrapped up over on the slab with all the plumbing so that they can get it ready to put the plastic, gravel, and rebar down so that they can pour some concrete. So this might be a pre-mixed concrete truck where they have their mixture and their water on board and they create their own slurry to do small jobs. That's what that truck looks like. I have no idea if I'm right, but that's what it looks like. Basing my opinions on common sense and understanding of what I'm looking at. So they're looking for something Pacific that's right there so that they don't damage it. Slow and steady wins the race because you don't want to have a mistake. Well, this might be a long day, folks. My phones are gonna break all this down into probably about 10 videos. Man, that's a lot of work for me. A lot of download. I think I gotta go check on my other downloads and see what's going on with them. I'm gonna switch back. Alright folks, y'all keep watching. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Let me get a little closer right there for you. Move my camera back just a little bit so I'm in the shade. That way I don't overheat too much. Alright, I'll be back in just a minute. everybody, I'm back. I see they got the camera going back down in the hole. See, that blue line's something else. Is that a pressurized line? Maybe they're going to use it to blow some mud out of the hole. That's what it looks like. I saw them messing with the wheels earlier on the camera robot when they took it out, and I think maybe there's heavy mud in the line and it couldn't actually go forward like they needed it to, so now they're going to flush it out. Wind sure does feel good blowing. My other phone is still downloading my first video. I guess being overloaded on its memory and all, it's just, the process is really slow, and it's usually not like that. It usually downloads pretty quick. So once I get those 2 downloads done on it, then I've got to download and clear out my phone. I would say the machine might have lost its prime. I'll have to reprime it. Let the air bubble out. see if I can get a count on how many we have out here today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 folks out here right now, and I might be missing one or two. We got the motor idled up and running on it now. Build up some compression, clear out the air maybe. Be having an issue with this phone. What is going on? Alright folks, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to have to cut this one right here and start a new one.